Hello and welcome to the Creabea Knitting Podcast. Hello and welcome, my name is Rebecca. I'm a knitter and knitwear designer based in Edinburgh in Scotland, and this is a vlog or a podcast all about knitting, what I'm currently knitting on, what I've been knitting on, and what I would like to cast on in the not too distant future. And yeah, I am back with the last podcast of 2023, and I don't have that much to talk about. I have some bits and pieces, but not loads, so we'll see how this goes time-wise. And I also thought I'd include a couple of recommendations because I've not done that in a while, with maybe some books and some other podcasts to watch. So the takeaway is that I have been really caught up in gift knitting. I was not planning to gift knit for anyone. I ended up doing a lot of gift knitting and I've fallen completely behind my advents, and I'm kind of annoyed at myself, like this side of things, that I did that, but the gifts are now done, so that's where we are. I have a couple of finished objects. I should have checked the last podcast notes actually before I started filming to make sure I wasn't missing anything. Maybe I'll just do that before I wrap up just to make sure there's nothing else. But let me talk about some of my finished objects first. And the very first one is what I'm wearing. I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera. This is a Tolsta Tshirt, which is one of my own patterns, and this one is done in glittery yarn. There we go. You can kind of see it a little bit there. A little bit there. I think I have yarn. I do. So I had wanted to do a sparkly toaster for a while, and I couldn't. In my head I was like, oh, you're only going to wear it for like a handful of days around Christmas, and then you're not going to wear it again until next year. Like, is it worth it? And then I decided it is. I want one, and I'm so happy I made one. So I used a couple of things. Oh, I just realised I've got pizza sauce from lunch on my hand. Lovely. There we go. So I originally actually wanted it to be kind of sheer and to wear a top underneath it. I am not. I'm just wearing this like with a bra, regular. It's maybe in sunlight so you can kind of see the outline of my bra, but I don't really care. I don't think it's indecent or anything. I used 2 strands of mohair held with 1 strand of sparkle. This is the mohair I used. It is Bichy Bouche, Le Petit mohair. My original plan was to use a Sagar, but I ordered, there was only one place I could get the sparkle from, and I didn't want to order from somewhere else for the mohair, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to order what they have in black, which was this, and actually it was lovely. It's a slightly higher silk content. It's 30% silk, 70% mohair, which I think made it really lovely. It's still got like some fluff to it, but it's very, I don't know, it's super nice next to skin. And then I held it with this. And this is called Stellaris. It's almost like it's been painted with glitter glue. You can kind of see it unravel it. Like, it's not super heavily sparkled, but it has these kind of like, I almost got it there. There we go. You see it kind of has like little bits of sparkle on the thread. And I got this in like the black with gold. There are loads of colours of this. And I really like knitting it up actually. It took me less than a week. I split for sleeves. I think I cast on the Friday and I split for sleeves by the Sunday morning. And then I just finished the body off throughout the week. And I found this knits up really fast. It's on 5mm needles. It's I think a 17 stitch gauge. Is that right? Or a 16 stitch gauge? I should know, it's my own pattern. But I find it knits up really fast. And I held mohair double. I didn't even finish. I've ordered 5 balls and I didn't finish the first 2, and it's what, 210 meters. So I reckon I used less than 400 meters of mohair for this. And I don't know what the wooden bit weighs otherwise, or the cardboard, otherwise I can tell you how much of this I used. So I used very little yarn. And yeah, I'm not going to stand up because I can't be bothered, I'm really comfy. But it is like a regular sleeve length. It's all to pattern. And actually, maybe I can. I've got a wheelie table now. It has wheels, so maybe if I wheel that back, I can stand up. There we go. So it kind of sits like exactly just below my belt, which I quite like, so I can like tuck it in. And then I will say, between the window, the red lipstick and the black top, I'm looking very pale today. It's really washing me out, but it's okay. It's dramatic and Christmassy. So I will be wearing this. Is that normal? There we go. I'll be wearing this like every day for the next 7 days. I think it'll be my Christmas Day outfit, and it'll also be with like a black skirt, and I'm gonna wear it on New Year's Eve, and maybe I'll also wear it today for the fun of it. I have a big red hair bow, like a big velvet hair bow, which I meant to put on but I forgot. So I'll put my red velvet hair bow in and wear my black sparkly top and feel very festive, which is nice. So that's a Tolsta. Yeah, I just like churning out Tolstas. I think I've made maybe 8 this year, maybe more. And I just know they're so fast. Like I know with like 100% committed knitting time, I could finish it in like 3 days. If I had like a good amount, you know, like 6 hours a day, like, sort of thing. But I know that like I can get it out in a week, which is quite nice, and quite a nice way to use up some like fun yarn. I have had a habit of cropping them too short recently. I made one in red silk held double, the Knitting for Olive pure silk, and I've definitely made it too short. And I can go back, I've got extra yarn, I'll lengthen the body, but I just told myself with this one, like just persist for that extra like 4 or 5 centimeters to make it a more wearable length, and I did. So that was really good. So that's what I'm wearing, my Tolsta T-shirt, super comfy, really nice. And I think it'll be good because my mum will inevitably have the heating on like crazy high temperature when we're there. So this way I get to wear knitwear and sparkles, but I will not melt, hopefully. Cool, I've got 2 more that I don't have with me, but I will briefly discuss. And I decided to make some gifts for the guys who run the gym classes that I go to. And I've gifted 2 of the 3. The third one isn't finished, but I'll get it to him after Christmas. The first one was a stick season hat, and I showed it on the podcast a while ago, and I used Retrosaria, no, that's not what it's called. I used Explorer Knits Earthy Decay. Oh. I used Explorer Knits Earthy Decay in the colour Rosaria Park, I think. It's a Spain collection, and I don't know what the park is called, but it's like a soft green colour. I do have some yarn left, actually, maybe in here. Is it? No. No, it's not in here. Ooh. It's not there. But it's a beautiful like soft green, and he's quite like classic, like he quite wearing classic clothes, and like, I don't know, everything's very like quite neutral colours, so I think that went well. And he messaged me to say it fit, which was good. And then the other one, I gave it this morning. I have a picture of it because I tried it on before I gifted it. And I don't think he realised that it was handmade. Maybe he did. But he's a big fan of country music. And I think, is it Morgan Wallen? I should know that because he's like a huge country star. His favourite artist, and Morgan Wallen's university team is the Tennessee Volunteers, and so the PT, the personal trainer that I gave the hat to, like loves an orange pop based on the Tennessee Volunteers orange. So I went to Ginger Twist, which is my local yarn shop, and we were walking around with the logo out, trying to match it to the right colour of yarn, and I think we kind of got there. It's maybe a little bit more red orange than yellow orange, but I think it looks really good. And I made a Pearl Circle classic ribbed hat, which I love. And honestly, I tried it on and I liked how it looked a lot. So maybe like a bright pop of colour hat is something I need in my life. I'm just planning what I'm knitting on for the next couple of days, and we're going to my parents for Christmas, and I'm just thinking maybe I'll substitute one of my projects for a hat in a nice fun colour and just make some nice easy knitting. Because nothing I've got packed right now is super easy. That's a good idea. And I'm, as you'll see, sick of making socks, so maybe I'll make myself a hat. I have some yarn to make myself a hat. I actually have another project in mind. Maybe I should do that. I'll have a think about that after I finish this. So, and then my last couple of gifts to show are socks. So I have a love-hate relationship with sock knitting. I actually quite like it. I think the problem is that I don't love to wear, like I don't mind wearing knitted socks, but I already have like 5 pairs. Why would I need to wear more? Like I've got everything I need. I don't need to wear more. I love a shorty sock for myself, so I do sometimes make shorties, but yeah, I'm just not motivated to make them because I don't want the finished object. However, my stepdad, who has been mentioned a couple times in the podcast, he was the model for the 6th season, is very knitworthy and loves knitted socks. And last year I gifted him a box with 3 pairs in them. And then this year I was like, I'm not making him socks, I don't want to do it. And then I felt bad, I felt guilty, so I made him some socks. The plan was 3. I have finished 2 pairs and an individual sock, and it's currently the 23rd of December. I'm not making the final sock. So my plan had been to give him 2.5 and say that the final sock was coming, but I think I'm going to hold that one back. His birthday's in March, and I'll just give it to him for his birthday, and I just have to make 1 more sock and probably an extra pair then, and he'll get 2 pairs for his birthday. But here we go. One is still on the, it's almost dry. I only finished it last night and blocked it last night, so it's not quite there yet. They're really fun. So this is the first pair I made. Yeah, I really like these. This is an Opal yarn in the cats and dogs scheme. I don't know which one it's called because the name is in... The name's either in German or the name is just a number, and I can't remember which, but I looked it up and I could see which one I meant, but there wasn't a name to it. And it's got kind of like blue greens. Yeah, I like this one a lot. A little bit jealous, kind of want these. Actually, I think I have enough left for shorties, so I could make a pair. So yeah, there are 2 of those, and they've got quite a long leg. They've got like an 80 row leg, and they've all got heel turn, like turned heels, with just a 1x1 slip stitch ribbing, gusset, and it's a 60 stitch foot, and then a round toe, I think, or maybe a wedge toe. It looks round, but that's maybe blocking. Yeah, kind of a wedge toe, I guess. Well, it's rounded. I don't follow a sock pattern. I just cast on the same number. The only person I really knit socks for is him now, so I cast on 64 stitches. Sorry, I cast on 64 stitches. I do whatever I want until I turn the heel. So this one's got 2x2. We usually do 2x2 rib actually. And then the heel I just do. I kind of follow the Winwick mum, is that her name? Who does a lot of the patterns for West Yorkshire Spinners. If I need a refresher, I'll go read that. But I just do like half the stitches on hold. I usually do some garter stitches on the edge of the heel flap. I don't know if you can see those. Down here. It's very unclear. I find that just makes the pick up for the... I did that once. I think maybe on the partridge heel, is that what it's called? And that has the garter stitch edge, and I usually do like 2 or 3 stitches garter, pick them up, and off we go. And then for the toe, I use a magic loop. I decrease every second row until I get down to 16 stitches on each needle, and then I decrease every single row until I get to either 8 stitches or 4 stitches or 6 stitches, depending on what I want, basically. These ones turned out pretty even. You can see, like, it's annoying because I started them exactly the same place. Maybe the toes, no, the toe just starts earlier on this one. So like, they look pretty solid as a pair, but they don't quite line up at the toes. This one's got a little bit more going on. And it's the same for the second pair. So I will get these wrapped up now. I've shown you them. I can wrap them this afternoon, take them with me. And the second pair is from Stylecraft, and this is called, I think it's the Walk in Nature colourway, and these were really fun. I like these a lot. They have like these chunky stripes and then these little narrow stripes, and then you can't really tell, but there's like a light grey and a dark grey, and then some thicker stripes, and then it repeats again from here. So I like these a lot. They were really fun. I like this little, like the narrow red stripe as well. These have got a shallower, like a not as long a leg. And I think these are maybe called Stroll. I don't have the button band. But it's definitely the Stylecraft Walk in Nature. I bought Stroll and Saunter. I didn't knit up the Saunter, so they're still left. I'm going to take this off the blocker. Pop that away. And then yeah, these are pretty much dry enough to put on, I think. Interesting. This one has blocked out like a good bit longer on the leg, but I know it's the same length. Maybe it's not the same length. Yeah, when I put them toe to toe, this one's got a solid, like, the legs are different lengths. Oh well, I'm sure you won't notice. It's weird because they do really match up the whole way up. But I just, with the second sock, I just followed the striping pattern instead of measuring the rows, and maybe that's what I've done wrong. Oh well. And again, the toes, like one's got almost like a bullseye, is that what it's called? And one's just got a dot, because it is the way the striping works out. So there we go, I've got 2 pairs of socks. I think they're really nice, like they go together really nicely, I think. As like a little stack of socks. I think they're really nice. And I'm excited to gift them because I know they'll get worn. And I think I'm going to have to bring some of his other pairs home with me and mend them, because my mum mentioned that they're getting holes in them, which is totally fine. So I'll bring them back and I can get them mended. And it was fun. Even if I just do socks like once a year, like it's cute, you know? It's a nice little thing to do. So that is all of my gift knitting. I do have a shawl that is being gifted. It's my Daphne shawl, but it is going to my mum, and yeah, it was already knitted and took pictures of it and things, and every time I shared a picture she said, oh, I like this one, so she's gonna get that. And yeah, that's all my gift knitting. And it's silly because it's not that much, but it's just been like every time I sat down I've started on sort of knit on the sock or knit on the hats, and they've just pretty much had, with the exception of the Tolsta, like that's the only thing I've really knit on. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting back in the rhythm of my own work and my own stuff. And I will say my patterns are getting a little bit neglected. I've got some pattern writing to do over the break and some pattern finishing to do over the break, and I set myself, I plan backwards from the launch date. So I usually do the launch date week and then usually try and plan for like 8 to 10 weeks behind that to have the pattern going to testing, depending on the yardage and things. And so then I know what day I should have the pattern ready by in order to have like an 8 to 10 week test window, and I'm passing that date for a couple of my designs, which is kind of annoying. Just means I need to get on it and get a bit organised, but that's fine, it's Christmas. So I only have 3 works in progress to show you. I have made 0 advent progress, and that is the other downside to me doing my gift knitting, is I've just fallen completely behind with advent knitting. And that's kind of a shame because I was really excited about it. I've stopped opening my Hobbit Advent because I want the colours to be, like I want to get really into it, and I'm just going to open them as I'm ready, like as I finish the squares and move on to the next one. I think I've done half a square since last time, like so little, but yeah, I'll get back into it. I was tempted to take that for the next couple of days, but I think it's just going to be a bit messy to organise, so I think I'll leave that here and just try and get some of that done in the days between Christmas and New Year. And if I catch up with like a couple of squares a day, maybe I'll have some progress by January. The other one is my scrappy, like my recycled advent blanket. On the last episode I calculated that it was 6,000 stitches per colour, and I think that completely put me off and I've not touched it since. Which is just ridiculous, but there we go. Again, not a very portable project, so I don't think it'll come with me. It's already pretty big. But I'm excited to make some progress on that one at some point. We'll see. I did want to, is now the best time? Yeah, I'll talk about my other advent, which I've not got a project for, but I do have. So this is the Skein in the Stitch Pride and Prejudice advent calendar, and it has been absolutely delightful to open. It's a 12-day advent, there's one every second day, and I thought I've been having so much fun by like thinking up names for the colours and like just having a great time, to be honest. So I've now opened all the mini skeins, so if you don't want any spoilers, like skip ahead. I don't know what time to, but skip ahead. It is so vibey, it is perfect. It is just, I have to watch this movie again soon actually. So let me see if I can vaguely get them in the colour order they came in. I accidentally opened the wrong day as well. I opened day like 9 when it was meant to be day 8, or sorry, day 6 when it was meant to be day 7, because I'm an idiot. I got my colours the wrong way around. I got my 9 and my, sorry, I'm trying to do 2 things at once. I got the 9 and the 6 upside down. It was clearly marked on the package, I just didn't look at it properly. Okay, so here's the first set of 6. Oh my goodness, they're coming up just as stunning on camera. That little blue is not really popping through. And then here's the second set of 6. So this is the advent calendar. Oh, I dropped one. Yeah, so I'm so happy. I just think it's perfect. I think I told you some of the names last time, but some of my names since then are, this one is, or I've made these names up by the way, they're just completely just what I thought was funny. This one I'm calling You Must, I think it's You Must Hold a Ball. This is the Oh Do Hold a Ball, when Lydia is wearing that like beautiful limey green coloured dress. This is another green which I'm calling Your Hands Are Cold, because it looks like the misty morning at the end of the movie. The other green, this one is Barely Tolerable, which is her green dress at the first public ball. If you're not watching this movie, you're honestly just like, what is she talking about? This one is my favourite, which is Excellent Boiled Potatoes. Do you talk as a rule whilst dancing? Another football scene. I showed those blues last time. Oh, and then this one. It was yesterday. This is the last day of Open number 12. And I'm calling this one Shame of the Regiment. Because it's like a regimental red, which I absolutely love. And I thought I would open the final skein right now. As I said, we're going tonight, or we're going this afternoon to my parents, so I'm not going to be here on the 25th to open it. So if you've got this and you don't want to see it early, don't look. But it is a full skein, and I'm not sure. I feel like we're maybe missing like a dark purple, but I don't know if a dark purple would go with this colour set. I was kind of expecting a neutral white for the main skein, and that's already come as a mini skein. So it's not dark. Oh my gosh. This is not what I expected. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. It looks pearlescent because of the colours. Oh my gosh. Okay, that is stunning. I need to check what base I've got, because I am not sure I will make, like, I don't know if this will be the same thing that I use the minis in. I feel like they go, but like, they don't not go, but I'm not like rushing to use that together. Oh my gosh. So if I was thinking I could be something like a muscle bar with some mohair. Oh, it is stunning. I feel like the camera's not picking up how beautiful that is. It's like, it's so soft and... So I need to think of a name for this one. I don't think it screams any one scene. So I have to think, like, what is the most iconic line from that movie? It's not Excellent Boiled Potatoes. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's been so nice to open. If anyone's not following Hello Stella, I would definitely go recommend following, because I think her colours are incredible. Like, I do feel like she does things like blues and reds and greens like so well and so like interestingly. I need to work out what to do with all of these. My plan was to make an alder, and maybe I still will, but I feel like there are some colours like I'm not sure I'd put these two in, the paler ones. And I don't know if I'd have enough without them to do an alder. So, I don't know, but I'm not mad about it. Like, in my head, sorry. In my head, if I don't, I'm like, oh, if I'm opening an advent, I should knit it up every day. But with this one, I was just so delighted by the concept that I'm happy to have it sitting waiting for a while, and that's completely fine with me. So, I'm kind of sad it's done. I've had so much fun opening it. I've been opening them like live on Instagram, and yeah, people have been like saying, oh, I've never watched this movie, I'm gonna go watch it, or like, oh, I'm watching this again, and that's been really nice. So if you've not watched the Pride and Prejudice 2005 movie, I would very much recommend it. I know some people don't like the movie, they prefer the 1995 TV show. I love them both equally. Don't let me choose between my children, I adore them. I feel like the movie is like vibes, like you're just there for the vibes, and like it's beautiful and it's aesthetic and it's the TV show is like completely accurate, and of course the TV show has Colin Firth and that scene in the lake, so there are pros and cons to both. But I've had so much fun. I really enjoyed it. And if you like any of the colours, there might be I don't know if there's going to be a full collection. I'm very tempted by this blue. If there's a full collection, I think I could get some more of this blue. I feel like I would sweater quantity that blue. Sweater quantity right up. So that's where we're at with Advent knitting. Not that far, if I'm honest. But that's fine, that's okay. So let's jump into my works in progress. I've got 3. 2 you've seen before and 1 is new. This one is my Kip sweater. And I think it's not far from where it was last time and I had to rip back. So I'm showing it now, but I also need to go back on it. This is a drop shoulder sweater. That neck is looking very square, but when you pick up stitches I find it really rounds out a lot. And this is where we're at so far. It's got this very cool, in my opinion, herringbone stitch. And this is the cool shoulder detail. The problem I'm having right now is that my armhole is too deep. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like 23 centimetres. And for the size I'm making, it doesn't need to be that big. It needs to be closer to that. So I need to rip back, which is absolutely fine. And then, yeah, I need to rip back, probably. The thing is that because of the way the herringbone works, I have to make sure that the front and the back are at the same, like they line up across the, is that going to be visible? Not really. When it slants this way, the front and the back need to be going the same direction, and I have to have the same number of rows on the front and or in terms of line up on the front and the back for the armhole. I'm not even thinking about how grading is going to work for this. It's going to be hell. Writing this pattern is going to be hell. But that is a problem for future Rebecca. And yeah, it's just so fun. It's so beautiful. I really like it actually. I've not had it open for a few days because I need to fix this armhole issue. And holding it up right now is making me very excited. I'm using Rerum. Oh, what did I just throw on the floor? Stitch marker ready. I'm using Rerum Natura Ulysse. Great yarn, really nice. I did a lot of swatching for this, and what I really struggled with was something that showed the texture well enough. And I do think that I wasn't, when I first started swatching, I was using like a yarn that matches that yarn, sorry, needle that matches the yarn weight. So this is a sport weight yarn. So I was originally swatching with like a 3.5mm needle. I am actually now using a 5 mil. Oh, that's some other 5mm I've got. I was looking for these. I'm such an idiot. A 5mm needle, which is a pretty chunky needle, and it's still a 22 stitch gauge. So I really needed to like open up the fabric a bit more. And I feel like if I went back and I swatched the other yarns I used this way, they would work out completely fine. But I like this a lot. I don't have endless amounts of this, but I think I'm still in the first skein. I should weigh and check, to be honest, but I still have like this much left of the first skein, and yeah, still plenty to go. It does go quite far. It's 50 grams, but it's 180 meters. God, I can't be on the first skein still. I must be in the second skein. The weigh doesn't weigh very much. I only have 5 of these, which now I'm saying that out loud is ridiculous. I'm gonna need more yarn, but that's okay. I think they're pretty good with their colour batches. My issue was that I just couldn't get any more in the UK at the time, but maybe if I look now, that was maybe a few months ago, I can get some more. It is a colour white pepper. I really want the second one in cobalt blue. I'm already excited for it. I know it's coming. But yeah, second one needs to finish the first one first. Ta-da! Would like to get some progress on this. This is like one of the projects that's been put aside because I've been gift knitting, and I don't want to put them aside. I want to get back on this. I feel like I'm feeling out of the swing of things because I've not been knitting on my own designs, and so like the excitement that I have with my own designs, which keeps me really pumped for knitting, has not been there because I've been knitting so many socks, so, and other things. So I'm excited to get back to these so I could have like the joy of my own knitting. I feel like I'm missing that a bit right now. The second one is a similar story, which is I think I've made progress since last time, but I've not made as much progress as I would have liked. This is my cable sweater, which I've got a name in mind, but I'm not like 100% set on it. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, I'm in love. So I wet blocked the top, I think, and I've steam blocked the bottom, but it's looking maybe a little bit lumpier at the bottom because it's not had a full wet block yet. I love these cables. I thought it would be overkill, this like traveling cable, but I don't think it is anymore. And then at the back, it's also got this fun cable, which honestly I right now hate because I'm trying to write it up and it's hell to write up, but it looks so pretty. So I finished the body, as you can see, and I just did the sleeves. I started a sleeve, but I'm doing some shaping on the sleeve cap with short rows, and I didn't quite get that right, so I ripped it back. I need to do it again. Again, I just need some brain space. I think it's the same with the kit, is that I just need like 30 minutes to sit down, pick up the stitches, get going, and I can go, or to like sit down and rip back and then redo the bodies, and I just need that like time to sit and do it, and I've just not had it. So hopefully over the break, so much happening over the break. But yeah, hopefully I can get back on track with both of these. Once I've already started writing this, and I think I'll send it to the grader and tech editor before I finished the sleeves. I could even start, as soon as I got the body done, I can send it over and she can start, and then I can send the sleeve details later. This is going to be really cool because it's going to have loads of options. So the plan is currently, this is obviously the round neck sweater. It's going to have a v-neck sweater, a v-neck cardigan and a round neck cardigan. And I've already got the yarn for the v-neck cardigan that I'm going to make. And I think my plan will be that this travelling cable will travel all the way down to the bottom of the v-neck, which is going to be really cool. I'm excited for it. But I can't start it until I finish the first one, unfortunately. And I think I'll go up a size. This one fits, but it's quite fitted to me. And I think I'll go up a size to the cardigan for more of like a loose, oversized fit. But yeah, oh, it looks so good. The yarn is Drops Daisy, which is their new base, or newish base. I think it's just a colour like marzipan or off-white. It comes in these little skeins, and I think it's done a really nice job on the texture. I think it's looking pretty good. I've ordered, my cardigan is going to be in Cascade 220, which I just love, and they've got such good colours. And it's pink. Did I say it's pink? It's pink. Like a purpley pink. It looked more pink in the pictures, it looks more purple in real life, but I'm not really mad, like either way it's going to look good. So there we go. This needs some love and care, and I just know that once the sleeve shaping is done, I can just knit the cables, and like that's super nice, especially over the next couple of days, like Christmas Day and stuff like that. Like if I can get the shaping, that's what I'm looking for. If I can get past the shaping and I'm just knitting normally and just doing decreases, that's completely fine, and I'm looking forward to that. So just need to get there. And the pattern, this is a classic case of it's actually really easy to write and it's quite easy to explain. It is hard to write. Did I say that? It's easy to knit. I think I said it's easy to write. It's easy to knit and it's easy to explain. But like trying to writing out this part is just a bit of a pain. And I didn't chart anything. I'm charting the pattern, but I didn't use charts when I knit it because it's just a 3, a braid, a 2, a braid. You know, it's the same. So it's frying my brain a little bit. So it's gonna be January before that one. My goal was that it would go out as testing the first week of January, and I'd do a test recall today, and we're not there, so it's gonna be later than that. That's okay. Cool, so my very last thing is a brand new design. And oh, I meant to grab a swatch and I actually don't even know where it is, so I'm not gonna grab it. I have like reorganised a lot of the house in the past week. It's one of the reasons I've also not had much knitting time. It's because I've been on like organisation mode. You can't tell, but I'm sitting on a new sofa. We used to have a chair and now we have a sofa, which is really nice because we can both sit on the sofa. Before we'd have like our own chairs in different corners of the room, which is a bit antisocial. It was lovely, like it was cosy, but it was a bit antisocial. So now we can like sit together and watch TV, and that's really nice. And I've got this this new bookshelf and my wheelie table that you're placed on. So has some new furniture, reorganised our bedroom. The one place I've not organised is the office, and I just keep dumping stuff on my desk, and I need to sort it before I go back. Like it's the last thing on my list really. The kitchen's all been reorganised, it's just the office. And I know it's gonna be a lot of work, and I'm just not like mentally ready to tackle it yet. So it's just there, but it is just covered in, I should do like a time lapse of it or something, because it's horrendous. It's so bad. The lighting in there is terrible, otherwise I'd just film it, but we'll see. It's, yeah, and my swatch is somewhere on that table, the one that first inspired me, so I'm not going to get to show you, but I can still talk about my other swatches. So I love to get, and my plan actually with this one is to just film like an individual chunk of film a little bit about it as I go, and then hopefully before the pattern releases, like launch a video with like the whole thing end to end. I don't know if that's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it for this one, we'll see. So I get like, I get ideas from just about everywhere. Sometimes I walk past someone in the street and I feel like a detail on their sweater, or sometimes I find a stitch pattern that I really love, or sometimes I see it like something in a store or like on Pinterest. And I saw some like fluffy wavy sweaters that I absolutely loved. I thought they were so cool. But I didn't want to do colour work because it'd be like crazy long floats and it's more work than I wanted to manage. But last summer I did a swatch for a summer tee in fingering weight yarn, which we all know I don't love fingering weight, so it just never happened. And it is a fluffy, well, it was a wavy pattern, and what I did is I modified an old shale lace pattern. I should just go get the swatch. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find it. Okay, I can't find it. And I made the mess significantly worse looking. I can't think where it is. It's annoying because it's been pinned on my swatch board for like almost a year since I did the first swatch. But anyway, it's take on old shale, which is like a wavy lace pattern that usually has garter bumps and lace holes. And what I did is take out the garter bumps and change the lace pattern so there are no holes. And I knew I wanted it to be fluffy. I don't know why, I just was really up for fluff. Like I was like, yes, this is, I could see it in my head and I saw it as a finished fluffy item. And so the first thing I did was look in my stash and see what I had. And what I had in stash was some, I'm laughing because it's so expensive that I just had some scraps lying around. It's the big mohair, Le Gros mohair from Bichet Bush. I designed a pattern for a magazine, it's coming out I think in March, and they sent me yarn, and the yarn they chose for it was Bichet Bush. It was beautiful, it was really nice, and I have some left over. And I swatched with that. So this is my first swatch. Yeah, I was like, this is gonna look so good. It does look so good. So yeah, you can see that there aren't any, like you can kind of see the lace pattern a little bit, but there are no holes in there. And from a distance, like you just see the waves, which I like. I was testing out which stripe depth I liked the most. I went with this one, and yeah, it was really fun. This is very expensive yarn. It is, I think 50 gram balls are 110 meters, and they're like £17 a ball. So yeah, it was a lot. I think I mean, yeah, it ended up being like almost £200 for a sweater, which just didn't feel very accessible to me. And this is beautiful. It's so nice, and like the luster of it's amazing. But I did want to make it something that was maybe a bit more affordable and a bit more accessible. So I decided to use Sandnesgarn brushed Alpaca, which I've never used before. There's a white and a navy. So I'm going very like classic colours for this one. I already know that I want one in like either pink and orange or like purple and red, or like something really, really bright for like Easter time. But for now I'm going classic, and this is my swatch in the blue. I like it a lot actually. I think it's this. Yeah, it's this way. So yeah, fluffy waves. And so I know, at this point I know in my head what I want the end thing to look like, and I know that for that construction, for it to look that way, I want to do it bottom up. I love a bottom up drop shoulder, to be honest. I really like the fit of it, especially for a more relaxed fit, which is what I'm going for. It's like the Dafties and the Corin, the Viridian, which is the pom-pom one, like quite a few of my, especially cardigans, but yeah, I like that bottom up feel. I think it's really cool. So I've started, just because I didn't have any mindless knitting. We had a call last night with Sam's parents to plan our trip to New Zealand next year, and I wanted to be able to sit and knit, but I didn't have anything. I'd finished my socks, everything else needed work, and I thought, you know, I'm just going to cast on the ribbing. So I have, I don't know how long the ribbing's going to be, to be honest, I've not decided yet. Probably 4 or 5 centimetres, and we're at maybe 3. Yeah, we're at 3.5, probably go to 5. And then I get to start on the fun part, which is going to be the colour work. So I'm really excited for this. I feel like this is it's like 16 stitch gauge, so it's pretty chunky. It's on 5mm needles. I think the chances are this one is going to overtake the kip, the texture, in my release timeline. And the kip will come out after that one. The kip might get pushed off to September. It'll depend how fast I am with everything and how on it I am. I don't really like to release more than 1 pattern a month. I don't know why, but that's just kind of where my head's at. So it might not be, I might push kit back until the next winter season, but we'll see. But this one I think will be, I'm thinking like springtime. It's so nice because the mohair and the alpaca is like, it's not like warm layer against like a chilly wind, but it's still really light and breezy, so it feels really easy to wear. So yeah, in my head I'm just thinking like Easter time, although I realised I thought that and I was like, oh, I'm going to make a pink one for Easter. I'm not really religious, but like I'm culturally Christian, I suppose. So I just thought of like spring and like fun pastel Easter colours. We're going to be in New Zealand for Easter. So I'm not entirely sure if it'll be exactly Easter weekend, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. So yeah, I'm having so much fun. These swatches are just so fun. And I just wanted something a little bit like joyful, I guess, and really easy. And I think that's the other thing I love with bottom-up construction from a designer perspective, is I get to cast this on, do the ribbing, get straight into the pattern, and I don't have to think about much until I get further up the body, and that is like a relief as a designer. I like that a lot. So yes, so I was gonna film that little like intro to this pattern today, but I'm not going to until I can find the swatch for this and the other swatch. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. I'm really excited for this one. So yeah, it's in my petite knit bag. I should switch my bags around so that this one, it goes right, but it's fine. This I'm taking with me. I'm going to take 2 balls of blue and 1 ball of white, and I'm only going away for like 4 days, so I don't think I'll get that much done, but one can dream. Okay, I have on my whip, which I found, or remembered about when I went to find that swatch that I didn't find. And I forgot all about it because I tied it away. So you might remember this from a few episodes ago. This is, it's my own pattern in the sense of I'm not following a pattern, but it's not planning to become a design anytime soon. I have a plan for what could happen next year, but like, so this is, I can't actually work out which way's front. I think it's this way. This is a fun, I should finish this because I want to wear it. It looks so fun. It's a Colourwork yoke sweater. The neck is a little bit too big, like I cast on a few too many stitches, so it's not quite lying flat. I think it'll be better when it's blocked. And it's just this super plain, pretty simple, sort of Icelandic-y inspired yoke. And then everything else is going to be plain. I got myself in a bit of a pickle with this because I had a stitch count I wanted to get to, and I increased that stitch count and it puckered really badly. So I ripped it back, had to do some more maths, and I think I'm pretty happy. There's still like there's like a tiny bit of puckering there, like if it's not a small needle, but if I hold it like that, you can see a little bit at the end of the bottom of the Colourwork, around here a little bit. But I am pretty confident with that blocking out. I've tried it on and it doesn't pucker when it's on, so I think it's gonna be fine. So yeah, it just needs the rest of the body, and it feels a bit too bulky to take with me this week. But I want it done. I want to be able to wear it, to be honest, because it's drops daisy and mohair, so it's pretty chunky. It's like a 17. Everything is 17 stitch gauge this week, maybe. It's on 5mm needles, so I think it's a pretty hefty sweater, and I'm probably not wearing it much past like once it starts to get warm again. So it needs to be finished in the winter months, which we're obviously in right now. And I can fly through a body and some sleeves pretty quickly, so I should just get going on this. But right now I'm thinking I've got some like precious knitting time coming up and I want to be working on designs. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll take this instead of the hat. Goodness knows. But yeah, it's really fun. The colours are, I think the marzipan is the same white as the cable knit sweater, and I think this is called toffee or maybe caramel, something sweet and sugary. And yeah, I think it's just going to be really fun to wear. The sleeves I'm just going to make plain and just do some gentle decreases. Easy peasy. And yeah, had to order some more yarn for this. It ate yarn more than I thought it would. But the yarn has arrived now, so it's all good. So that is everything for my knitting. For someone who said they had nothing to talk about, I ended up with a fair amount to say. But that's not really a surprise. That's kind of how this always goes. I have an acquisition, and then I have some recommendations. If you want them, you can stick around. So my very first is an acquisition, and we did our Secret Santa 2 weeks ago, and I just wanted to show my gift because I thought it was so cute. So my friend, my Secret Santa, has worked before with a digital illustrator, and you can like send them pictures and they will turn the picture into a digital illustration. And look at mine. It's me. So it says the Creabea at the bottom, and what I really love about this is like, this is my 6 season sweater. Can you tell? So I thought it was so cute. I'm gonna hang this in the office. I've got a few other pieces in there. I've got a framed copy of my very first pattern is in there, and I've got a piece of artwork, a painting from my paternal grandmother and a needlepoint from my maternal grandmother on the wall in my office above my swatchboard. So this is gonna go there next to it. But I just thought that was really cute and worth showing. Cool, so recommendations. I don't normally do recommendations, but I just I thought with like maybe you've got some more time, you've got maybe some time off over the break and you're looking for things to read or things to watch, maybe I can help with either of those. But if you don't like them, then that's totally fine. I'll do this and then a little life update and we'll wrap up. So I wanted to start with some podcast recommendations, and that's because there are 3 special people to share podcasts of, if that makes sense. And I realised I don't know the name of their podcast, I just know their names. So I'll put it on the screen as I'm talking. I go to a regular knit night, and 3 of our knit night attendees have launched podcasts in the past few months. And they're all people who have taken part in pattern pictures for me in the past, and so I thought it'd be nice to share them. So the first one is Jo. Jo is Made by Jo Designs, is that right? On Instagram. I'll put her podcast name here. She modelled the Corin cardigan in this beautiful like green version way back last March or April, and yeah, does a lot of different crafts and has a very cute dog who I think makes a fairly regular appearance, and I think she's just put up a recent episode. So that is worth watching. I think maybe she's got like 3 or 4 episodes out, 4 or 5 episodes out. The second is Yenny. Yenny is Finglish Knits on Instagram. Again, I don't know what her YouTube channel name is, but I'm going to put it here. I realise I've not heard her talk about it since the first episode, so I hope that episode is still there. But yeah, very intricate, detailed patterns. There's a lot of test knitting. Has test knit for me, was the model for my Cargill and for the Dorney, and has also done test knitting for Sari Nordland. It's just recently been the one for what Lydia made. Has amazing colour choices and definitely worth watching. And then the third one is another Rebecca. We have 3 Rebeccas in Knit Night, and this third Rebecca, the one I'm talking about, has just moved back to Spain. So unfortunately, still in our knit night at heart, even if she's not at our weekly knit night. I'm pretty sure her podcast is called Moving Stitches, but if not, I will again put it on screen somewhere. And yeah, it's kind of like ex-fashion industry, so really good at doing things like here's some I've seen in store, here's how I'd recreate it. And yeah, so I'm going to put all 3 of them down below. I'll put links to their channels down below, and hopefully I put their names on screen so you can go find them. These are people that I love hanging out with in real life, so I feel like if you like me and like my podcast, you probably like them because the people that I get on with in real life, and I like what they have to say. So I think their podcasts are just like hanging out with them, which is really nice. And then in terms of book recommendations, I have read more this year than I have any other year. I think I'm on 75 books for the year. Last year I read 9, so it's been a dramatic increase in reading. A huge part of that is thanks to discovering fantasy romance books, I will say. I read everything that Sarah J Maas has published to date, and that made, like, of my 75 books, I think that was like 25 of them. So yeah, I've been reading a lot, and primarily I read fantasy romance and just like contemporary romance, and then I sprinkle in a little bit of contemporary literature and a little bit of classics, but like pretty much those are my 2 things. So if you're into either of those, then my recommendations are for you. If you're not into those things, you might not like these, but anyway. In terms of fantasy romance, I've just finished 2 books in a series. There are only 2 books out, and that is I think the first one is called Blood and Steel, and it's the Legends of Thesmar, Thezmarr. It's really good. I like it a lot. It's kind of got like Witcher vibes / Aragorn vibes, like that's kind of the tone. Kind of meets Fourth Wing. There's a little bit of magic sprinkled in there, but like it's not like heavy on the magic. And yeah, I really, really liked it. It's like a new adult. It's really good. I think the author has a couple of other series out, so I might start one of them at some point over Christmas break. But yeah, I devoured the first 2 books. The next one doesn't come out till May, and yeah, it's less a bit of a hole in my heart, to be honest. I've got a bit of a book hangover because I really, really like the 2 of them. So if you're a fan of like Fourth Wing and ACOTAR and From Blood and Ash, and like any of those, definitely recommend. I will also say if you are and you've got recommendations for me, please do let me know down below, because I am always looking for new books. The other series I wanted to recommend is contemporary romance, and I just love an interconnected standalone romance where like the book is contained, but like it might be like a family and there are 6 siblings and each one's got a book. Like I just love those. Those are my favourites. I just finished a series called The Edens. I think there are 6. I skipped one of them because I didn't like the tropes. I like looked it up on Goodreads and I was not a fan of like what the tropes were, so I just skipped it. The rest of them were so fun, like just really easy reading, really nice, a little bit different, like a bit more action, a bit more going on than some of like your standard small time romances. So I would really recommend those. I think it starts with, I've forgotten what the first one's called. I can't remember, but I know it starts with, yeah, I know the couple it starts with, but I can't remember the name of that first book. But the series is called The Edens, and the Edens are the family, and I think there are 6 of them. So if you're interested in contemporary romance, I would recommend those. They might even be on Kindle Unlimited, actually. I can't remember. But yeah, any other recommendations for books especially, send them my way. I'm not sure I'll be 75 books next year, but I am looking forward to continuing reading. I think my big hack is that I learned how to read and knit at the same time this year, and that has really like opened up a world of possibilities for me. So that has been really nice. Oh, I'm suddenly very out of breath. I must have sped up a lot there. So I guess last but not least is just a little personal update, life update. What has been going on in the last 2 weeks? Well, a lot, like mega organising streak, mega get things sorted for the break. I finished up on a Tuesday for Christmas, and then Wednesday and Thursday, today's Friday. Today's Saturday, yeah. Wednesday and Thursday I just was on like mega tidy clean mode, like everything had to get cleaned, everything got organised, I think I built like 2 bookshelves, a chest of drawers and 2 tables in 2 days. So that was pretty intense. And then yesterday was also pretty chill. Again, just like getting things tidied, getting the bathroom cleaned, getting the kitchen cleaned. Just trying to feel like we're in a good place for the next year. Last Sunday we went to a movie marathon for Lord of the Rings. It was 20 years since Return of the King came out in cinemas. So we got to see the extended edition of all 3 Lord of the Rings movies in the cinema. It was 12.5 hours long, with 15 minutes between movies, and it was epic. It was actually really, really fun. I liked it a lot. I wouldn't rush to do it again anytime soon. Like, now I've done it, I'm happy I've done it. I got a lot of knitting done, so that was nice. I finished like the gift knit hats. I knit a good chunk of the Tolsta. I did all that then, so that was really nice. But that was good last Sunday. And then yeah, it's Christmas time. I am a child of divorce, so if anyone else is in the same situation, you know that Christmas is like trying to squeeze everyone in. So as much as I'm like, oh yeah, break, and I actually think it's gonna be busier than, sorry, I've got an itch. I think it's gonna be even busier than it normally is. I'm going to my mum's today for a couple of days, and then Boxing Day we go to my dad's. My little brother is turning 21 on the 27th, so his birthday, and then Sam's brother is coming here on the 27th, so lots of visiting, lots of stuff going on. But yeah, it's a lot. So what I can guarantee is I should get lots of sleep, hopefully, and hopefully enough knitting time is my plan. I think that is everything from me. I hope if you are celebrating Christmas that you have a wonderful time. I hope if whatever you're up to, you can do what you enjoy, whether that be relaxing or eating or sleeping or knitting or watching TV or yeah, whatever it is, getting out in nature, whatever you like doing. I hope you've got some time for that in the near future. And I am gonna check off. I was going to say check out, and then I was going to sign off, and it came out check off. I'm going to check out and sign off and go wrap my socks and work out. I'm only going 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 4 days worth of knitting. Let's see what I can pack for 4 days of knitting.